Welcome to the following presentation of the Southeastern Conference on ESPN.
Vanderbilt returns to Nashville with the number 20 next to their name. Diego Pavia has Vandy ranked in September for the first time since 1956 after road wins at Virginia Tech and South Carolina. Tonight, Clark Lea's Commodores look to stay unbeaten against a Georgia State team that upset them a year ago.
Across the middle, touchdown Georgia State.
Pavia dumps it off Alexander, one-hand grab, and he is in. Don't worry where I've been, I'm back in the saddle again.
We welcome you to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Dr. Pepper, here in Nashville, Tennessee, as the number 20 Vanderbilt Commodores host the Georgia State Panthers out of the Sun Belt. 25-minute weather delay, but we are ready for some football in the SEC. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. And how about Vandy? One of the best stories in all of college football. This is a historic start to the season for a Commodores team that are looking to keep it going against Georgia State tonight.
Jay, this isn't your father's Vandy team. This is a team that Clark Lee has recruited very well the last couple of years. They hit the portal hard this past offseason. They got some great-looking football players on that sideline, a swarming defense, and maybe the most fun, unconventional quarterback in the entire country, Diego Pavia. And he's a guy, Jay, I mean, one thing that stands out about him, they run the option. Well, the option is always an option, like literally right up to the last second when Diego Pavia is running it. I mean, that last second, that thing will come flipping out. Able to get his playmakers the ball and get a couple more yards there as he scoots down the sideline. And the other thing you see, again, something other quarterbacks around the country are not doing. How about lead blocking for your runner on the jet sweep? Laid a hit on the safety on the sideline. Get another look at one coming back the other way. Usually right here, a quarterback will pitch the ball out and he'll just kind of, throttle down the sideline. Not Diego Pavia. He is coming hunting out there on that field.
Pavia told us yesterday, growing up, he played safety on defense. Missed popping people, and he has been able to do that a couple of times already this season as Pavia and the Commodores take the field for the first time in the month of September since 1956 as a ranked team. And they are on red alert against this Georgia State team, a Panthers team that a year ago upset them in Atlanta.
Yeah, and Panthers controlled this game the entire contest here. Vandy made a little bit of a surge late, but right at the end with about a minute left, Christian Bayer to Ted Hurst for the go-ahead touchdown. And Jay, Ted Hurst is back. Vandy's got to watch him tonight.
All eyes will be on number 1 this season. Switched his number from 16 to 1. Also all eyes on number 2 for Vandy as the Commodores have kickoff from Nashville when we come back. Moments away from kickoff in Nashville. Vanderbilt, one of the best stories in all of college football. A historic start for a Vandy team ranked in September for the first time in nearly 70 years. 3 wins by 20 points to start the season. They haven't done that since 1930. And if they win tonight, it'll be their first win as a ranked team since they beat Vanderbilt in 2008. So you say historic start, but you can feel it here at First Bank Stadium in Nashville. Vanderbilt won the toss, decided to defer, so it's Georgia State ready to receive. Nashville accustomed to the bright lights, and they are shining on Vanderbilt to start this season. Looking to avenge a loss to Georgia State from a year ago and stay unbeaten at 4-0. We are underway in Nashville. And we get our first look at the Georgia State offense. A familiar name to SEC fans, TJ Finley, the quarterback. And here in Nashville, we're less than 3 miles away from the Johnny Cash Museum. Well, as Cash saying, I've been everywhere, man. That's TJ Finley. LSU, then Auburn. Decided to take his talents to Texas State, where he probably had the most success in his career. Western Kentucky for limited starts. Then in the spring, he went through practice with Tulane, decides to transfer into Georgia State. So here he is back in the SEC against Vandy. Play action. Finley checks it down. That's the tight end, Camden Overton Howard. There's a flag down on the opening play from scrimmage.
Offense, number 0. He's the eligible receiver that was covered by another eligible receiver. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So that negates a positive play of 9 for Georgia State. There's head coach Del McGee.
Second down.
His best win as the head coach of Georgia State, no doubt, when they beat Vanderbilt a year ago. A 36-32 game. Vandy scored 22 points in the fourth quarter, but it wasn't enough to come back. Trying to establish that run, Rashad Amos, a transfer from Ole Miss. Going to be tough sledding against a Vandy defense, Rocky, that has only allowed 7 points in the last 6 quarters they've played.
Yeah, and they got a lot of guys that play on this defense. Contributions from a lot of folks. They'll rotate them on that defensive line.
Quick hitter. Overton Howard. Ball came out, bounced out of bounds. It's a safety for Georgia State.
And one of the best defensive players right now for Vandy is C.J. Hurd. He comes and lays a pop on Cam Howard.
A transfer from FAU, leads the team in tackles through 3 games. Another flag down. James Carter has the calls tonight.
Illegal substitution against the defense. More than 11 players on the field during the play. 5-yard penalty, third down.
So this takes Rocky a 3rd and long into 3rd and manageable here for Georgia State after the illegal substitution.
One thing about Georgia State, they've been running the ball well. Got a bevy of running backs. Amos, we'll see Branson Robinson, DJ Braswell. It's a little bit more manageable. But always watch out for Ted Hurst. That's their number 1 guy. Or excuse me, that's not him. There's Ted Hurst up at the top of your screen.
Third and 13. Finley right on the money to Ted Hurst. We told you to watch out for number 1 in white, and that's why. Big 3rd down completion. Finley to Hurst.
Anytime Finley looks out and he sees single coverage, he's going to hit Hurst. I mean, you talk about a good-looking wide receiver, 6'3", 195 pounds. He is a true NFL prospect. They need to get him the ball a ton tonight. Here it is again.
Go right back to him. This time drilled at the line of scrimmage. Now, Clark Lee told us, Vanderbilt's head coach, this is the best receiver Vandy has faced this season. Huge compliment to Hurst.
Yeah, and remember last week they faced Nick Harbor for South Carolina, so that's quite a compliment. It shows you how dangerous Ted Hurst is.
172 yards a week ago in the win against Murray State, 128 yards against Vanderbilt when Georgia State upset them last September. Panthers keep it on the ground, a broken tackle. Still churning his legs for Rashad Amos. A first down into Vanderbilt territory. A monster gain of 20 for the transfer from Ole Miss.
Now, Vanderbilt runs a pretty complex scheme on defense, but they need to get settled down. They need to get set. I mean, before that play happens, you got guys are looking in the backfield and trying to figure out where they're moving, trying to get the check, get your hand in the dirt, get lined up, and play.
Finley looking to throw on first down, goes right back to Amos. He's wrapped up. Nick Rinaldi, senior linebacker, makes the stop.
Officials timeout for an injured player.
Just a little simple zone play, and you know you can see what makes Amos so dangerous is he can break tackles.
Now, after that last play, Darrell Bailey Jr., the starting left tackle, is down for Georgia State. Take some wind out of the sails for a Panthers offense that has been rolling ever since that big third down conversion. TJ Finley, a perfect 3 for 3 through the air, and he's going to need his reliable left tackle Bailey, who's still getting looked at by the Panthers medical staff. Bailey on his feet, limping back to the Georgia State huddle. But Ted Hurst active early on this opening drive.
Yeah, and again, I mean, he's a deep ball threat. I mean, he's great at tracking the ball. He's got speed. I mean, contested catches. He is a quarterback's dream out there, and then the ability to run after the catch. You know, there's been some great Sun Belt wide receivers that have gotten drafted last couple of years. Jalen Tolbert from South Alabama was a 2022 draft pick. Quan Baker a couple years earlier. He's probably next.
2 receptions already on this opening drive for Hurst. They go to Branson Robinson. He's another former SEC running back. Transfer from Georgia. Injuries have derailed his career, but getting close to 100% health. He was cleared in August after a knee injury.
And Del McGee told us he's still not all the way back, all the way him, because he is an exceptional football player looking to keep building on a great game last week.
A player that scored 2 touchdowns in the national championship win against TCU. The 5-star running back coming out of high school, certainly unafraid of this SEC environment. Flags fly ahead of a 3rd and 2.
False start. Offense, number 69. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That is a killer for Georgia State. A 3rd and 2 becomes 3rd and 7. TJ Finley converted a 3rd and 11 to keep this opening drive alive earlier. Now a 3rd and 7 in Vanderbilt territory. Keep it on the ground with Amos bottled up. And that play call, Rocky, probably tells you that this was 4-down territory for Georgia State.
Well, you say that, and here they are bringing the kicking team out. Yeah, I agree with you. That was a call. Hey, let's try to pick up a couple and be aggressive on 4th down, which is what I would have done. But it looks like Del McGee wants to try to get some points out of this drive.
Well, they have struggled in the kicking game to start this season. They have yet through 3 games to convert a successful field goal. 0 for 3 on the season. This is Braden McAllister. He's only responsible for 1 of those misses. McAllister from 52. Plenty of leg on it. And he drilled it. Good decision by Del McGee, and Georgia State strikes first with a 52-yard field goal. Braden McAllister opens the scoring. Well, Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt with the football when we come back, trailing 3-0 early. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Awesome atmosphere in Nashville. Vanderbilt down 3-0 at the beginning of this Saturday night contest between Georgia State and Vanderbilt. Diego Pavia ready to take the field with the Commodores offense. The quarterback who has taken college football by storm. You know, to go on the road, Rocky, and beat number 11 South Carolina and Virginia Tech, it takes a team effort, but Pavia, he's the face of what has been a historic start to the season for Vandy.
He is, and he's just an absolute magician with the ball in his hand. Again, the play is never over. He always, just fights, scratches, and claws, and gets that ball to his playmakers. Lightning quick decisions he makes at that position as well.
And you never know who's going to get the ball. The Commodores had 10 different players run the ball last Saturday night in that road win against South Carolina. It's Cedric Alexander who starts in the backfield. He gets the carry. Positive yardage, a gain of 9 for the first play from scrimmage for this Vandy offense.
And it's such a unique scheme that they run, Jay. You'll see some option elements. You'll see some air raid elements. It's an incredible mixture they have with their OC, Tim Beck.
You played linebacker 8 years in the NFL. How do you defend an offense with so much wrinkle to it?
That's what makes it hard, is your brain is thinking 1,000 miles per hour, and while you're thinking, they're running downhill at you.
Second and 1, Pavia, quick hitter, finds Richie Hoskins for a Vanderbilt first down. Hoskins, one of the many great stories on this Vanderbilt team, started his college career playing football and lacrosse at Division III Middlebury College in Vermont. Now he's playing in the SEC.
How about that? An interesting makeup, to say the least, with this Vandy team. Where these players have come from and their stories, it's really incredible.
Pavia topped the list. Junior college, then New Mexico State. Now one of the top quarterbacks in all of college football. Certainly one of the top personalities. 1st and 10. Play action. Pavia. Strong throw right on the money. Picks out Junior Sherrill. Makes a couple man miss. Goes out of bounds at the 30. Huge gain of 29 to ignite this Vanderbilt offense.
Well, you talk about the accuracy of Diego Pavia, 74% on the season. A guy gets open, boom, ball is a little high, but right there where Sherrill can get it, and then he does the rest. Some fancy footwork. I think Georgia State thought he was going to be going out of bounds, and he didn't.
And they marked him down after a gain of 12. Sherrill thought he picked up 29, but they marked the ball at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, that right foot went out. Yep.
Good call by our officiating crew. And I think because of that confusion, Vanderbilt was late to getting to the line of scrimmage. So the officials are discussing.
Not sure if it was that, Jay, or if they're saying if Georgia State was simulating movement with their line, which you can't do.
Delay of game, defense, distance 30
Good call.
5-yard penalty. First down.
As a defensive player, you can move, you can shift, but it can't be an abrupt movement. It can't be in a nature that is trying to draw the other team off sides. And you just see how that is. There's lots of pointing and all that sort of business, and that's what's going to draw that penalty flag.
Panthers head coach Del McGee doesn't like it. So a 1st and 5 after the penalty. Pavia, good protection. Gets rid of it to Hoskins. Needed 5, got 5, and it's another first down for Vanderbilt. Their first offensive possession.
And good shot here. Watch Diego Pavia with his eyes, scans his progressions, and as soon as he sees one that's open, it comes out right now. There's no hesitation or let me wait till he gets open a little more. No. Guy's open, ball's out of his hand. Don't pass up open wide receivers.
Well, there's a lot made that Pavia is a risk taker. But we talked to him yesterday, and he goes, I've heard take care of the ball my whole life. There's going to be some good, there's going to be some bad, but trust me, there's going to be more good than bad. Right on cue. The magician, Pavia, first down, bounced out of bounds just shy of the 20. That's what Diego Pavia can do.
And this Vanderbilt crowd loves it. And again, that's a scenario where the defense looked great. Everybody covered up on the back end. You got them locked dead, and then nope, Diego Pavia, the magician, escapes for a first down.
I mean, there's nothing there. It's defended perfectly, and Pavia turns it into 16 yards. Knocking on the doorstep of the red zone. Play clock down to 3. And Pavia, with the play clock winding down, didn't get it off in time, and Clark Lee has to use his first timeout. We'll take it with him. Vandy looking for points, down 3-0 on their first drive of the game.
Timeout on the field.
ESPN College Football is presented by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper. College football, it's a pepper thing. And in part by the Sonic Smasher. Buy one, get one free in the Sonic app. Live free, eat Sonic.
We show you the 1930 Vanderbilt football team because that is the last time a Vandy team started the season with 3 wins by 20 or more to start a season. 95 years between those 2 feats. That's one of the many mind-boggling statistics of how incredible Clark Lea's start to this season has been in the year 2025. And a big reason why, number 2, Diego Pavia. He's got his team knocking on the door of the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Play action. Pavia looking for the end zone. And he just missed Junior Sherrill. Those 2 couldn't quite connect.
And Jay, that ball was about as perfect as it gets as a throw. On a fade ball like that, you throw it to the outside of the wide receiver so you get away from the defender, and if he misses it, the ball goes out of bounds. But that ball is right there, and one usually Junior Sherrill comes up with. Great toss, though.
Should have been a touchdown. Instead, 2nd and 10.
Incredible accuracy by Pavia.
Play action. Pavia puts it on the money again. That's M.K. Young, the junior, out of the backfield. A gain of 19 inside the 5. Pavia's got the Commodores in business here.
They just keep your feet in cement because there's a jet sweep option, there's an option pitch, and then there's a receiver running right up the hash mark here. It just gives you so many things. Again, you become paralyzed as a defensive player trying to figure out where the ball is, and by the time you figure out, it's out the gate.
Cedric Alexander back into the backfield. He has had a nose for the end zone this season. 5 touchdowns through 3 games. Play clock down to 1. Alexander gets the give, churning his legs, breaks the plane, touchdown, Vanderbilt. Touchdown number 6 on the season for Cedric Alexander. And Vandy cashes in on an 8-play, 75-yard touchdown drive. After Georgia State starts the game with a 52-yard field goal, Vandy answers with an impressive touchdown drive.
Yeah, it started with M.K. Young up the seam route there, and then they'll plunge in for the touchdown with a little help from your buddies on the offensive line, Isaiah Glass and others. Vandy up 7-3. Well, Jay, Cedric Alexander got the touchdown, but would have been possible without this scramble from Pavia. I mean, check this out. Covered, 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 covered. So instead of trying to force the ball into a dangerous situation, he just takes off, pumping that arm down the field, and then a pass down the seam to MK Young really set up this score. And Cedric Alexander capped it off here with his offensive lineman brethren pulling him into the end zone. Impressive drive there by Vandy.
16 yards on that scramble by Pavia, 4 of 5 through the air for 42 yards. The one incompletion, he found Sherrill in the end zone, hit him right in the hands. So a strong start for Diego Pavia, where he is picking up where he left off last Saturday against South Carolina. For 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's Athletic Scholarship Fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you, Allstate. So as TJ Finley, the Georgia State quarterback, and the Panthers offense comes back to the field, got to feel pretty good about that opening drive. You cash in with a 52-yard field goal against a defense that had only allowed 7 points in the last 6 quarters they've played. A little trickery here. DJ Riles, I think, was looking to throw that football. Instead, nobody open, so just tried to turn it into positive yards and a flag down.
Holding. Defense, number 3. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
And Colby Taylor called for the hold there.
Jay, this was going to be a pass. And you see Leo Blackburn down the bottom of your screen. He gets held right there, gets grabbed. He was trying to take off down the sideline. They might have had something there. So you say it might have been actually a good penalty rather than giving up what could have been a bomb for a touchdown.
A fresh set of downs for Georgia State. Finley gets rid of it quickly, looking for Branson Robinson.
Just pointing at the lights there, it looked like it. That ball might have got hung up in there a little bit.
They put it right on Robinson, and Robinson didn't get a good read on it. They try Robinson in the run game, and he is blown up in the backfield. Brian Longwell shot in. The Nashville native. Big time stop there, a loss of 2.
Had a great time talking with Brian yesterday, but a great job here. He sees it and goes right now. Dips inside the offensive guard before he can get cut off. Exceptional play in the backfield by Longwell.
Longwell told us yesterday, we're not just a feel-good story. We are chasing championships. Great confidence from one of the leaders on defense. 3rd and 13, looking for Ted Hurst, and that pass falls incomplete. It was a yard in front of Hurst.
Yeah, a little bit better throw might have had it, but in that situation, yeah, they're going to try to find Ted Hurst. Unable to connect.
So Reed Chanley off to punt it away. Martel Height, the talented two-way player for Vanderbilt, awaits it. And he gets no rest. Starting corner, impact wide receiver, punt returner. And fields it off the bounce. A risky play, but keeps possession for Vanderbilt. He had no choice there. He had to field it. That would have ran inside the 10 had he not. Next weekend, a loaded slate of college football on ESPN. It starts Friday night, Florida State at Virginia. And then how about LSU at Ole Miss and Alabama at Georgia? Some must-see matchups next Saturday in the SEC.
Some big SEC matchups coming down the pipe here. Love it.
That triple header starts with Notre Dame at Arkansas. Those 3 all on ABC. Arkansas trying to bounce back after a loss to Memphis earlier today. The Irish looking to stay on course after an 0-2 start for them. Here's Pavia showing his running ability. Gain of 7 there.
And you see Pavia right there, even on that run, just a little pump fake with his arm. I don't know if there's a quarterback that is as effective with the arm pump fake in anybody in college football than Diego Pavia. I mean, he uses that thing, he'll take off and he'll pump that. That'll just absolutely freeze the defender and allows him to escape.
Well, usually if you watch something like that, well, he's throwing in the pump, but there's no way he'd actually do it. Pavia would. That's the difference.
He absolutely
We've
would.
seen him do that. And he's got the confidence of his coaches and teammates, his risk-taking ability. Fakes the pitch, dials up the deep ball. Pavia going for it all. Couldn't quite connect. He had the speedster Caleb Barnett, true freshman, who was flying down the field.
And as a quarterback, Jay, you never pass up open guys. He had Cedric Alexander wide open right in the middle of the field. I mean, look, he's right there. He's saying, throw me the ball. There's nobody around, but Pavia had made up his mind. He wanted to take a deep shot, but there's double coverage there.
Hey, we're talking about his risk-taking ability.
That's it, you know.
That's it right there.
You got to take the good with the bad.
That's
right?
what he said.
Yeah.
Look, take the good with the bad. I promise there will be more good than bad. 3rd and 3. Trying to keep the drive alive. And he does. Right on the money. Eli Stowers, the talented tight end. Check out the speed. Eli Stowers, who Pavia yesterday said is a first-round tight end. Showing why they're on a gain of 48.
And he comes streaking all the way across the field, and Pavia goes through his progressions and hits his favorite target, number 9, trudging down the field.
I know you got to love all your teammates, but Pavia lit up when we asked him about Stowers yesterday. Those two first connected together at New Mexico State in 2023, transferred in to Vanderbilt together. Lightning play of 48. Pavia back in the red zone. Makes a man miss. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Diego Pavia. A 16-yard scamper for Diego Pavia at Vanderbilt with back-to-back touchdown drives. All set up by that 48-yard pass to Eli Stowers, and then Pavia took it himself for the touchdown.
And when in doubt, find Eli Stowers. And no one happier that Stowers came back than Diego Pavia, and here he is right there. Inline tight end, just comes a little simple cross over the middle, little mesh, couple defenders fall down, and Stowers just does the rest. Jay, you and I were on the field before the game and looking at Stowers, how impressive he was, and then look, the whole formation just opens wide up. Defenders are looking to the side. Where's this guy going? Where's that guy going? And a huge hole opens up in the middle for Pavia.
Untouched on a 16-yard touchdown run. Caps a 4-play, 71-yard drive for Vanderbilt. They did it in under 2 minutes. Now this Vandy offense has picked up where they left off in Columbia, South Carolina, where they took down number 11. And now they're in to the top 25 at number 20. And you know, everyone talks about Pavia and the offense, but the Vandy defense delivered big time.
Oh, they were fantastic. And this was the play that really broke the game open. Zaylin Wood drops from the nose tackle position with the interception. You get the forced fumble, and later on, another forced fumble. I mean, this defense just swarms around. Again, they play a fairly complex scheme, so it's tough on a quarterback. You don't know where these guys are going to pop up. They've been a good job finding that ball.
That's defensive coordinator Steve Gregory watching his unit that has been so impressive through 3 games this season. And right on cue, they forced the fumble. There's a flag down, but as it stands, this is Commodores football. We just showed you the 4 fumbles they caused last Saturday night against South Carolina, and they find their first of the night here, pending a flag.
Offense, number 56. If the fumble recovered by the defense, that penalty is declined. First down.
Yeah, it was a great job here. Like you said, Jay, right on cue. Yeah, there's the holding penalty you saw. Yeah, and look, I thought it was Randon Fontenette, but it's actually Jordan Matthews just popped his left hand in there, as that ball was in the left hand of the running back, and Dell McGee just can't believe it. Offense, their first drive, it looked good, but since then, Vandy and their defense have been impeccable.
Yeah, the Georgia State defense only got 1 play off. Back to Cole Spence. Hurdles inside the 10. Pavia finds another tight end. This time it's Spence for a gain of 20.
And Spence did a good job just kind of hiding down in there. Popped out late. Pavia saw him wide open. You see him, he's right in that mess and comes out the backside. And Cole Spence, coach told us yesterday, he's a guy that doesn't get noticed enough. It's hard for a 6'7", 255-pound tight end to not get noticed, but he's making his case out here.
First and goal. Pavia looking for a 3rd touchdown in this opening quarter. Alexander met immediately. Only a gain of 1. Well, what makes this Vanderbilt offense so difficult to go against, Rocky, is you just don't know what Diego Pavia is going to do, particularly in the red zone.
Yeah, it is. And as a guy who played defense his whole life, the one thing you want is certainty. You want to know, I mean, the most important thing, where's the ball going? But there's so many options, there's so many shifts and motions, and then Diego Pavia, again, will hold that decision to the last possible second, makes it super tough.
A pitch. Junior Sherrill makes it look easy. Touchdown Vanderbilt. The Commodores have scored on all 3 offensive drives they've had tonight. Vandy cashes in the forced fumble. 3 plays. Short field, 35 yards. The Georgia State defense had only got 1 play off because they forced the fumble on the first play that Georgia State had on offense after the Vandy touchdown.
And Jay, there's just so many options, so many things for the defense to think about. It's got to be impossible to try to practice against this scheme, because here comes Sherrill as a nub wide receiver, comes in orbit motion. They got a lead blocker out in front of him. It's got to be an absolute nightmare to prepare for this team, because there's a million things they do on offense.
So after Georgia State started this game with a 52-yard field goal, Vanderbilt has responded with 3 touchdowns in 4 minutes and 19 seconds. They have blown this game wide open in the opening quarter. There's head coach Clark Lee, year number 5, and we told you he's got Vanderbilt ranked for the first time in September since 1956. We asked him what that means to him, and he said, look, I don't take for granted where we are, because I know where we've come from. He had to build belief, and he has done so successfully.
And Jay, there are rebuilds, and there are monumental rebuilds like he had to accomplish here at Vanderbilt. And I love what he told us yesterday. in the meeting. He said, I asked him, what's the toughest part about this rebuild? And he said, it's getting people to see this program as something other than what it was. It's just it loomed large over this program for a long, long time, and just trying to get that belief instilled in your team, and not just your team, but the people, the surrounding community, the students, the faculty, everybody, and he's done a great job.
New quarterback for Georgia State. This is Cameron Brown. Throws it away. On that point, Rocky, Clark Lee told us when he first got the job, a parent was on a Vanderbilt tour with a prospective student, their daughter, and the Vandy tour guide said, there's the football stadium, but nobody goes and we stink. He goes, that's a Vanderbilt tour guide saying that. So changing that perception from the inside out has been his mission, and he's done it.
He's done it. I mean, look around this crowd. Got 3 straight sellouts, a couple more coming up here soon. This team, this fan base believes. I mean, look at this. That is an amazing crowd for a Vanderbilt football game.
False start. Offense, number 62, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
They've been outstanding in this opening quarter, setting the tone, dominant in all phases of the game. Now, when you have been the bottom feeder of the SEC for so long, Clark Lee said, look, we had to get rid of everybody who did not believe.
Right, yeah, get them out. Yep.
And it has taken to year 5. They showed signs last year, prove to ourselves we can do it. Obviously, everyone talks about that win against Alabama. But this year,
game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1:28. 1:28, the clock will start on the snap.
This year, he feels like they've taken a huge step forward because that confidence is embedded. They've already proven they can do it. Now it's about doing it each and every game. He said, we're on a quest to do something nobody believes we can do except for these coaches and this team. 2nd and 15. Georgia State looking for positive yardage, and they get it to Javon Robinson for a gain of 8.
Cam Brown, the thing about him is he's the more dynamic runner of the 2 quarterbacks. So I imagine they'll give him some sort of run-pass option.
3rd and 7. Cameron Brown.
Wow.
Great throw, keeps the drive alive. Leo Blackburn, his first catch of the night, goes for 18, and Georgia State moves the chains on 3rd and 7.
That was an impressive throw by Brown. He had a Vanderbilt defender right in his chops as he was letting go of that ball, and Leo Blackburn coming with a big catch. A guy that they'd like to see get going more. They really believe he can be a special wide receiver.
With 1st and 10. Brown's first series coming in. Relief for TJ Finley. Hard run there by Jordan Simmons. Gain of 6. And that does it for the first quarter. Georgia State into Vanderbilt territory to start the second quarter, but the Commodores have thrown a first punch. A 21-3 lead for a team ranked 20 in the country. Diego Pavia's got the Commodores believing. Strong start, 21-3 after 1. watching the SEC on ESPN. We welcome you back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Dr. Pepper. Start of the second quarter, Vanderbilt in the driver's seat, a 21-3 lead. They had 3 offensive drives, cashed in for touchdowns on all of them.
And that guy right there's Ted Hurst, and I was getting ready to say they need to get him involved. He had 2 catches on the first drive and none since, but he's on the sideline right now. I wonder what's up with that.
Well, he had 128 yards and 2 touchdowns last year against Vanderbilt when Georgia State pulled the upset against the Commodores. They start the second quarter with the football, already in Vandy territory. Cameron Brown in at quarterback, transferred from Texas Tech after TJ Finley had the first 3 drives.
And Coach Del McGee did tell us we would see both quarterbacks.
Didn't know if we'd see both of them in the opening quarter.
Right.
Brown gives a different dynamic because what he can do in the run game. Hands it off there back to Jordan Simmons. Back-to-back carries for the 5th-year senior.
And Georgia State rotates so many running backs in. They've got 4 and 5 guys. It makes it hard for any 1 or 2 of them to really get going. Sometimes you got to get in the game and get a sweat and get knocked in, just kind of get into the flow. And it's hard when you're rotating out guys all the time.
They're rotating at running back. We've seen 5 different running backs in the backfield for Georgia State as well. One of them right there, Javon Robinson, falls forward. This will set up a 3rd and short. You're probably in 4-down territory here, although we did see Braden McAllister connect on a 52-yard field goal.
Again, you think about rushing Cameron Brown as he is electric with his legs. You got to stay in your lanes if you're Vandy here.
Quick hitter. Right back to Robinson. First down for Georgia State.
Robinson on the reception.
Gain of 11.
And that was a great job by Cameron Brown here. Vandy was bringing the house here. I mean, look at all those black jerseys. He doesn't hesitate. Ball hits his hands. He shoots it out to the outside. 2 blockers. They had a 3-on-2. That ball goes out there every single time. Great blocking on the outside. Nice pickup there by Robinson.
Rashad Amos trying to bounce this outside. Flag flies in. 6 different Vanderbilt defenders flying to the football there. Impossible for Amos to run out of that.
Personal foul, tripping. Offense number 69, 15-yard penalty. First down.
Tell you what, this Vanderbilt defense, though, is just absolutely flying around. I've been having so much fun watching that man right there, Brian Longwell. I mean, he had last week that huge stop on 4th and 1 in the 3rd quarter where they brought the house and just stuffed South Carolina. He was the man coming right down the pipe on that thing. Impressive linebacker, how he moves, and like any good linebacker, Jay, he's not, you know, he don't want to make tackles 5 and 8 and 6 yards down the field. He wants to make them behind the line of scrimmage, and he makes a bunch of them.
1st and 25 after the penalty. Brown in trouble, gets rid of it, and that falls incomplete. Now, one thing, when you turn on the tape about this Vanderbilt defense, they want to get to the quarterback. There is no doubt about that.
And there he is. He's all on the outside, so you think he's going to drop it. He comes a little line stunt. Great job. Last second, comes down up underneath and right into the chops of Cam Brown.
You know, Rocky played 8 years at linebacker, and you are loving watching Longwell at linebacker tonight.
He's fantastic. He can flop and move around out there. He's just got great instincts. That's the #1 thing you got to have to play that position.
2nd and 25. Brown flushed out. Checks down to Amos. Makes a man miss. He gets back nearly to the original line of scrimmage.
Tell you what, Georgia State's doing a good job of making guys miss in space here tonight.
So 3rd and 12. Is this 4-down territory?
I think so. And in one of these two plays here, I think you try to find Ted Hurst, who's now back in the game. We'll get a look at him. He's going to go to the top of the screen. Right
Number
there
1 in white, marked up in coverage by Mark Davis.
Press coverage. Safety's going to cheat.
Brown, good protection. Strong throw, right on the money. First down, Georgia State on 3rd and 12. Brown delivers to Leo Blackburn. What a throw.
Great job by Cameron Brown, because Ted Hurst gets all the attention. The safety starts cheating that way. Cameron Brown smartly looks backside here, breaks that hitch off, comes back to the ball, gives a nice target to the quarterback. That was great.
Panthers are 3 for 3 on 3rd down on this drive. Could they finish it with a touchdown?
I got Hurst at the bottom of the screen.
They hand it off. Good hole opened up for Jordan Simmons, who takes it just inside the 5-yard line.
Tackled there by number 22, Bryce Allen, number 96, Jordan Sidor.
There's offensive coordinator Hugh Jackson, a name many football fans know, NFL head coach with the Raiders and Browns.
He has been coaching a long time. He does a great job both with quarterbacks, offenses, all of it.
Empty set. Brown throws. It's caught. Touchdown, Georgia State. Jordan Simmons, the running back, lined up in the slot. And the Panthers score. An impressive 13-play, 75-yard drive. And Cameron Brown, the quarterback, comes into the game and ignites some life into this Panthers offense. His first drive of the game against the Vanderbilt defense has been as stingy as anybody. Blocked extra point here for the Commodores. They're going to try and take this back for 2. It's a foot race. Got all the way to the 15-yard line. Miles Capers on the return for Vanderbilt. And a point-saving tackle made by Camden Overton Howard. 85 yards, Overton Howard tracked him down after a Georgia State touchdown for 6. The extra point is blocked. But Vandy still in the driver's seat, a 21-9 lead. Week 3, Monday Night Football, and it could be a Super Bowl preview. The Lions and Ravens, two of the favorites at the start of this NFL season. 8 Eastern on ABC, ESPN, and the all-new ESPN app with Peyton and Eli once again on ESPN2. Coverage kicks off with Scott Van Pelt and the Monday Night Countdown crew in Baltimore at 6 Eastern. And Georgia State has gone for an onside kick after scoring a touchdown. There's a flag down. Now it was signaled on the field, Georgia State ball, but there is a flag.
I'm not sure it went 10 yards, Jay.
Yeah, ball has to travel 10 yards.
It has to travel 10 yards before Georgia State can touch it. Vandy can come get anytime they want.
And if Vanderbilt touches it before it goes 10 yards, then it's a live ball.
Correct.
But it'll be who touched it first.
Offside. Kicking team, number 12. That's a 5-yard penalty.
Wow.
We will re-kick.
So a re-kick here.
And I can't tell you how many times you see this happen. You got an onside kick. There was more at the top.
Oh, and Vanderbilt did touch it first, and Jalen Jones fell on it. So that would have been a successful recovery for the Panthers had they not jumped early.
I've seen it a million times. You're so excited we're doing the onside kick. You're all kind of gassed up, and you just leave a little bit too early. And Del McGee's got to be sick. That was a opportunity that was missed there.
And it seemed like Braden McAllister, too, was a little late on the kick. You know, his body was in front of the ball when he swung his leg through it. The timing wasn't there, but the execution was when it was a live ball. A tough break for Georgia State as the Panthers were trying to swing momentum. This is returnable for Trey Richardson from his own 2-yard line. Big hole. He speeds right through it. Richardson all the way to midfield. It was McAllister, the kicker, who made the tackle. Return of 46 for Trey Richardson. He stepped on the gas here, Rocky.
Tell you what, Richardson has some rocket boosters on him. I mean, he sees that hole up the middle and just hits it. Boom, look at that. I thought he should have kept it to the outside and said he tries to cut back across the grain. But an impressive return there by Richardson.
So what a swing in that special teams game. It could have been Georgia State ball with a successful onside kick. Instead, it's Vanderbilt ball nearing the 50. So favorable field position for Diego Pavia. Play action. Throws off his back foot and just threw it away there. Nobody home. Now 3 drives, 3 touchdowns for Diego Pavia in this Vandy offense.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The passer was outside of the pocket, and the ball crossed the line of scrimmage. Second down.
It was very close. They're saying he did get outside the pocket so he could throw that ball away.
James L. Lassiter on the left hip of Pavia in the backfield. He has 2 carries on the season. They've both gone for touchdowns. Pavia keeps it himself. Gets the edge. First down, Diego Pavia. Colby Owens chased him out of bounds. Gain of 13.
Yeah, and to have any good defense, you got to have an edge. And Marlon Dean, the outside linebacker for Georgia State, just got caught up inside. And Diego Pavia, as he does so many times, whatever you try to do, he'll counter it and make you wrong. You love how in command Pavia is out there. Formation's going right. So no, guys, come back over here to the left. He sees something.
He takes a timeout with the play clock winding down to 2. And we'll step aside as well. Vanderbilt driving in Georgia State territory, up 21-9.
Timeout on the field.
ESPN College Football, presented by Dr. Pepper, is brought to you by McDonald's.
Wouldn't be surprised if you see those hats later on Broadway tonight. Yeah. Fellows enjoying a game at First Bank Stadium. And Rocky, you played special teams 8 years in the NFL. You never know when there's going to be a big play in the special teams game, and we've seen a couple. First, an extra point that's blocked by Vanderbilt.
Yeah, and then right here you can see offsides on the surprise onside kick attempt. I mean, it's just a fraction of an inch, and it costs him because then Trey Richardson, next play on the kickoff, takes it back for a huge return. Such a game of inches.
So instead of Georgia State football with momentum after scoring the touchdown, it's Vanderbilt ball, and Diego Pavia and the Commodores offense have already taken it into Panthers territory. 1st and 10. Pavia finds Sherrill, who goes down.
Pavia's pass complete to number 0, Junior Sherrill.
Only a gain of 3. Sherrill was looking for more after the catch.
I mean, Georgia State has not been able to get hardly any pressure on Diego Pavia all night. He had all day back there to survey the field. I mean, priority number 1 is finding a way to affect the quarterback. You got to do it. You cannot let these guys camp back there. They're too talented.
The Georgia State defensive coordinator Travis Pearson told us even when you do get to Pavia, he'll make a play. And we saw that on the first touchdown drive, a gain of 16 out of seemingly nothing. This time setting up the screen. Lassiter lost his footing. That is the first time this season James Al Lassiter has touched the football and not scored a touchdown. Through 3 games, he had 2 carries, both to the house, 35 yards and 44 yards. Has to settle for a gain of 5 there to set up 3rd and 2.
Well, that record had to be broken soon, right? He's not going to go all year with a touchdown run every play.
What do you do here on 3rd and 2 if you're Pavia?
I allow Pavia to get outside the pocket and give him a run pass option. If it ain't there, let him scramble around and pick it up with his legs.
Five on the line for Georgia State. Pavia hands it off. A.J. Newberry falling forward. Needed 2, got 2.
And Jess, it's been this Vanderbilt offensive line that has been, I think, one of the biggest reasons for how well they're playing this year. 4 new offensive line starters they got from the portal. That's been the difference. And again, they run some option stuff, which can be a little bit finesse, but they are anything but finesse. They will flat run you over down there.
And they keep it on the ground, running behind that offensive line. Clark Lee said in the trenches, we're not punching up as much as we've had to in the past. Jordan White, he called a program changer. The command he has of that offensive line, the center.
Yeah, smart player. You know, that position requires so much mentally that you have to do, but it's not just mental stuff. You also got to be able to block and drive guys off the ball, and he's one of the best at it.
Second and 5. Pavia keeps it. But he's not afraid to pick up the hard yards. Picks up the first down there.
Great job by the line right there. A double team. And Chase Mitchell, the guard, getting up to the second level. Those bodies right there are what's really helping Diego Pavia taking it to the next level.
Does anybody love to run into traffic as much as Diego Pavia?
He seeks it out, seeks contact.
Into the red zone after that first down run by Pavia. This time throws, lofts, and a flag flies in the end zone. Sherrill knocked down by Bernard Causey. Not much Causey could do there.
Pass interference. Defense, number 28. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
And Pavia looked outside. He saw one-on-one matchup. Sherrill, Bernard Causey. Looks like he just, again, didn't get his head around and some contact as that ball was coming down in there. Causey, one of their best cover guys on the outside.
Pavia has shown some great touch in the red zone. 2 great throws. Neither one have resulted in a touchdown, but that drew the defensive pass interference. First and goal. Pavia trips, trying to make something out of nothing, and that time lost 3. Just lost his footing there, Rocky.
It looked like he was coming out, and again, that's one of the things. You go under center, and it was his right guard there, Chase Mitchell, had stepped right on his foot as he was trying to either. Now here's some great camera work right here. This gets him locked in the ground.
It's amazing he held on to the ball.
I was gonna say, amazing he held on the ball and still escaped and had a chance to make a play out of it.
That's the first negative play of the night for Vanderbilt. They still have it 2nd and goal here from the 5. 3 options for Pavia to the left. He looks right, pump fakes, decides to take it himself, upended at the 2-yard line. Touchdown saving tackle by Josiah Robinson.
I'll tell you what, that was just some great all-around football right there. Georgia State had 6 on the line. They show a blitz. They drop 2 out. Pavia surveys the field, doesn't see anybody, tries to run for it, and then Georgia State comes up and makes a great tackle. Just all-around great football right there.
10th play of the Vanderbilt drive. They are 2 for 2 on 3rd down this drive. Timeout taken by Georgia State ahead of this 3rd and goal.
First time of the half. Georgia State.
So Diego Pavia, after this run that sent him flying, will have a 3rd and goal from the 2 when we come back.
College Football Playoff begins December 19th and concludes with the National Championship January 19th on ESPN.
Biggest play of this first half, Vanderbilt on the 2-yard line for a 3rd and goal.
3 tight ends set in right now for Vandy.
Pavia under center. Hands off for A.J. Newberry, trying to go up over the top. He breaks the plane. Touchdown, Vanderbilt.
You see Deuce Walker come up. Just hurdles him now. Did his knee hit before, or the elbow possibly hit before the ball crossed the plane?
Well, Newberry took flight, a successful hurdle, and I think before that elbow came down, the ball crossed the plane. So a 10-play, 52-yard touchdown drive that eats up 6 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, they looked at it and okayed it, so.
It felt like if Georgia State was going to get back into this game and potentially win it, needed to find a stop there on 3rd and goal, and Jalen Walker had the right read. Newberry just hurdles him.
Yeah, and Vanderbilt again, they go 3 tight ends. Gabe Fisher, the tight end, as a fullback. And A.J. Newberry just running downhill there, and what a great job by Vanderbilt responding. It looked like Georgia State was getting some juice going right. They score, almost get the onside kick, and then they allow a big return, and then Vanderbilt just marches down the field and punches it in for the touchdown.
So Clark Lee's team, 4 offensive possessions, 4 touchdowns. And interesting enough, they've all been on the ground by 4 different players: Pavia, Alexander, Newberry, and Sherrill.
I don't know if Clark Lee misses too many buy and try and chest days either in the weight room. That guy's
well,
good
both
shape.
of you guys. Georgia State lets that go for a touchback. Now for our Fansville College Football Update, brought to you by Dr. Pepper. College Game Day live from Oregon for Oregon-Penn State. That is next Saturday. Dante Moore doing his thing.
Tell you what, Dante Moore was not a name that was in the preseason Heisman conversation, but I think with, you know, the way Klubnik has struggled a little bit and Manning has struggled a little bit, I think Dante Moore might have moved himself in the top of that list right now.
So game day will be in Eugene for the Ducks and the Nittany Lions. The Vanderbilt fans, they're hoping if their season can continue as strong as they've started, maybe College Game Day will make their way to Nashville sometime this season.
Browns pass complete to number 1, Ted Hurst. Tackled there by number 0, Pollock Jones.
And Georgia State trying to get Ted Hurst back involved in this game. It's been a while. It's been since really the opening drive. They've thrown the ball away at number 1.
A future NFL wide receiver. Both coaching staffs just heaping praise on Hurst. And you know, I find it incredible, Rocky, that he manages as much production as he does, considering he is bolded, underlined on every scouting report.
Stop him. We got to stop him. He's still productive. I'll tell you what, I might have a hands down favorite football player of the year so far. Brian Longwell, linebacker for Vanderbilt. 4 tackles on the night, flying around out there. Now he's mugged up over that center right now. See if he comes or he drops out.
He goes. Gets free. Longwell chasing down Brown, who desperately threw it off his back foot. Brian Longwell in hot pursuit. The Nashville native asked his coaches to describe him. They said disruptive, and he was there on that 3rd down.
Yeah, and he's right there. Got 2 linebackers just mugged right up in there, and they both come as a little cross stunt, both hitting those A-gaps, arrow stunt. And I think just how one went to one and then Braswell wrapped around and hit the other, they weren't able to pass it off, and he's able to affect the quarterback on the throw.
Longwell told us he takes so much pride in the complexity of this defense. It paid off there. A short punt. Vanderbilt was going to have a good opportunity here to put some more points on the board before halftime. All the drives they've had so far tonight have resulted in touchdowns. Tomorrow, Sunday NFL Countdown. You don't want to miss Randy Moss's conversation with two former LSU standouts, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, reunited before they square off on Sunday. And a look back at the aftershocks of the Beastquakes. Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 Eastern on ESPN. Has that been 15 years since Marshawn Lynch did that? So a 3-minute drill for Diego Pavia and this Vandy offense. One timeout at their disposal.
Eli Stowers back in the game here toward the bottom.
And keep an eye on number 9 in black. Pavia certainly does. Although this time goes to Richie Hoskins for a first down. Gain of 14 to ignite the drive. Pavia going quickly here. He put that right to Hoskins in that time. He dropped it. Immediately told Pavia, that's on me.
On me, yeah. It's one of those instances where you start running before you have the ball secured. And again, all the different things we see out of this offense. We've seen option elements. We've seen 3 running back, 3 tight end, and then we go 4 wide right there. It's amazing.
And when an offense gets into a 2-minute drill or a 3-minute drill, sometimes they go too fast. They feel like they got to go quick. Vanderbilt still has plenty of time here and a timeout, plus the 2-minute timeout. Pavia slings a dart. Sherrill's got it inside the 25. Works his way to the 15 before he's shoved out of bounds.
And it starts, Jay, with just a great pocket. And Georgia State chooses to only rush 3. Okay? But look at that pocket he has to be able to find Junior Sherrill down the sideline. And Sherrill just did a good job of getting open. You know, the ball goes to the wide receiver that finds his way to get open and create space the quarterback can see him.
Diego Pavia lets this tick down to the 2-minute timeout. Vanderbilt back in the red zone. Feels like they've lived in the red zone tonight. 4 drives, 4 touchdowns. They're looking to keep that going as they head into halftime. 2 minutes left in this first half. Well, Diego Pavia has been practically perfect tonight. 10 of 14 through the air, 179 yards, 2 of those drops. 7 rushes, 59 yards, and a touchdown. And he's trying to find another touchdown before halftime here. 1st and 10 from the Georgia State 15. Play action. Pavia throws over the middle. Finds Stowers, the reliable tight end, who spun down at the 5.
I can't tell you how great of a throw that is from Pavia. Looks to the outside, not there, comes right back and hits Stowers right between 2 white jerseys. Amazing. Looks fake outside and just threads the needle. I mean, I don't know if there's, of all the traits and attributes you got to have as a quarterback, I mean, accuracy has got to be at the very top. When someone's open, do you put the ball on the money? And Diego Pavia does it about every time.
Well, this is Vanderbilt's 5th offensive drive of the first half. The previous 4 have resulted in touchdowns, and here they are on the 5-yard line, looking to do it again. In terms of accuracy, part of that's decision making, right? And Pavia's been near perfect when it comes to decision making in this first half. He's got Cedric Alexander on his left hip. 6 touchdowns on the season for Alexander, including 1 tonight. Sherrill in motion. They send it to him. Just lost his footing. And Sherrill was trying to plant that foot and turn upfield, and it disobeyed him.
That was similar to the touchdown earlier on the other end of the field.
A loss of 4. And Georgia State elects to use their final timeout. Well, that's their head coach, Del McGee, trying to preserve clock to give the Panthers offense an opportunity to counter here at the end of the first half.
I really like what Clark Lee said about Diego Pavia when we met with him yesterday. We just talk about how smart he is and how he thinks about the game. He's not just out there, you know, just, okay, you tell him to play and that's what he runs. No, he's thinking about where the holes in the defense are, where we can move our guys around to get an advantage.
Well, you asked Clark Lee, what's Diego Pavia's best attribute? And he said his curiosity.
Yeah.
Now, he's not a robot.
Not a robot.
He's questioning, well, is that the best in this situation? It's collaborative, and it's been on full display in this first half. And up Newberry, and he's in! A.J. Newberry! His 2nd touchdown of this first half. And the Commodores are in full command. What a brilliant performance this is. Back at home after 2 Power 4 road wins against Virginia Tech and number 11 South Carolina. You're playing a team that beat you a year ago in Georgia State, and Vanderbilt has made a statement in this first half.
Jay, we talked about this offensive line. Now, this is not a finesse bunch out there for Vanderbilt. Everyone really gets this play going. Watch Chase Mitchell right there. Just a lineman's dream. Bang, hammer, just kicking out the defensive end. And that's all that Newberry needs to punch it in for the touchdown. I mean, just textbook how you kick a defensive end out, head on the proper side, just kind of dishing him out of there. Just good fundamental football. Clark Lee, I'm sure, loves it.
Well, you started this show by saying this is not your father's Vanderbilt team. You can double and triple down on that.
Putting up 35 points in a half.
The belief in this program is incredible. Talking to Diego Pavia, who tells us we're here to win a national championship. You talked to linebacker Brian Longwell, and he said we're not just a feel-good story. We're chasing championships. The belief in the building is incredible when you think of the history of this program.
And that's what it takes. It takes for one guy to believe it, then two guys, and that turns into 4 guys, that turns into 8 guys.
I think the college football world as a whole is going to start to believe it. Minute 41 until halftime. 35-9 lead. Georgia State out of timeouts. Dell McGee called those timeouts to preserve some clock, so you know he's going to let offensive coordinator Hugh Jackson be aggressive here before halftime. And there was offsides on Vanderbilt, so the Georgia State drive will begin at the 30-yard line. Cameron Brown stays in at quarterback. Jordan Simmons on his left hip in the backfield. Brown back to throw. Uncorks one. Far side of the field to the tight end Camden Overton Howard. Gain of 3. Gets out of bounds. Clock stops at a minute 36, and with no timeouts, it's critical that if you don't pick up that first down, you do get out of bounds if you're Georgia State.
And if I'm Vanderbilt on defense right now, I'm saying nothing over our heads here. And that means making sure, number 1, Ted Hurst is accounted for.
This time Hurst lining up in the slot. Brown looking to Hurst. It was hit as he got rid of it. Pass falls incomplete. Corday Sidnor applied the pressure there and sets up 3rd and 7.
And Vanderbilt still has a timeout here. There's an opportunity to get this ball back and put even more points on the board.
Georgia State's actually been pretty good on 3rd down tonight, 4 for 7. Brown, pressure coming, flushed out, throws off his back foot, incomplete. Vandy doesn't even need to use that final timeout. They're going to get the ball back with a minute 20 or so and a timeout.
That's 2 great rushes in a row by Corday Sidnor. Miles Capers involved in that as well.
Sidnor so explosive off the snap. And to make matters worse for Georgia State, Vanderbilt's going to receive the second half kickoff.
I believe they just called intentional grounding there.
Yeah, the officials came together after that play and did rule intentional grounding. So
inside the tackle box, no wide receiver around where that ball landed.
Reed Chanley's standing on his own 7-yard line. Dangerous return man Martel Height awaits it for Vandy. This is a Commodores team that in the first quarter scored 3 touchdowns in 4 minutes and 19 seconds. So you know they can score in a hurry. Wow. A booming punt. Lands at the 15. It falls to the 17. Can't do it much better than that if you're Reed Chanley. 64-yard punt. So how aggressive do you let Diego Pavia be here? Up 35-9, knowing you're going to get the ball back to start the second half.
You know, I think you can tell Diego Pavia to not be aggressive, but he's that kind of guy that
he might not listen.
He might just not listen. Yeah.
Well, he's been perfect tonight.
In a good way.
5 drives, 5 touchdowns for Diego Pavia in this Commodores offense. Minute 17 to work with, 1 timeout. Good protection. Pavia flushed out. Room to run if he wants to, and he does. Takes it out of bounds just shy of the 30. Gain of 11, so it's a first down for Vandy here.
He was trying to take a shot there and push that ball downfield. Like Georgia State dropped into quarters there. It was all covered up. Just smartly gets some yards, goes out of bounds, first down. Again, using that pump fake so effectively. Even if you're down past the line of scrimmage and you do that as a defender, your natural instinct is to pause, and that's all Diego Pavia needs.
Pavia throws quickly, and again Sowers gets out of bounds, so that stops the clock at 1:05. Pavia, by the way, on that rush, 1,000 yards rushing at Vanderbilt. He's done it in a season in 4 games. He's the 3rd quarterback to do it since 1996. Jay Cutler, Chris Nixon, the other 2. Vanderbilt still with 1 timeout. 65 seconds left in the half. Pavia throws it right on the money again. Trent Hudson was waiting for it. It's another Commodores first down. Moving the chains methodically.
Yeah, but he's putting on a 2-minute clinic right now. I mean, just, hitting the outside parts of the field. Receivers are getting out of bounds. When it's not there, he's able to scramble forward, pick up yards, but still get out of bounds himself. Just great command that Pavia has of this situation.
Well, this entire first half has been a clinic for Vanderbilt offensively. Pavia just dumps it off to MK Young. He smartly gets out of bounds. Preserves that clock. 55 seconds remaining in the first half. Vandy with that 1 timeout remaining.
And even right there, Jay, something that really stands out. I mean, he processes the information so quickly. He looks like he's going to come over the middle, but he sees an open guy, bang, just dumps it down right now. There's no hesitation.
Pavia throws it right in stride. Tristan Brown, another Vandy first down. 49 seconds remaining now into Georgia State territory, and there's an injured Panther in the backfield, so the clock will stop here.
Yeah, that actually helps Vanderbilt
with 49 seconds remaining. Bishop Thomas getting helped off the field here. Coming up at halftime, you can watch the live performance of the Spirit of Gold Marching Band on SEC Network Plus. You can start streaming now on the ESPN app. So a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10 from the Georgia State 36. Pavia flushed out of the pocket. Rolling right, going to tuck and run. Another Vanderbilt first down. Pavia delivers with his feet again. Gain of 16.
That's the thing. If you're Georgia State, you want to drop everyone back, not let anything get over your head. And when you do that, there's not much pressure on Pavia and no one home to corral him once he breaks out into the open.
I mean, Pavia is torn this defense apart in the first half, and this might be the most impressive drive of them all.
He's been incredible. Again, taking the throws that are there, not forcing anything, getting out of bounds, scrambling when he has to.
He's 4 for 4 through the air, 2 runs for 27 yards. Play action. Pavia floats it to the end zone. Great play. With no helmet, Bernard Causey lost the helmet, didn't matter.
But that should be a penalty.
And
now it's coming. You're not allowed to keep playing if your helmet comes off.
But I'll tell you what, he still prevented a touchdown.
He did. So
you'll take the penalty there for the equipment foul, Because if Causey goes down with his helmet, that's an easy score.
Personal foul. Defense, number 28, continuing to play without his helmet during the play.
That's so hard for a defensive player. Like,
it's instinct.
Stop. Yeah, exactly. Instincts take over. Can't remember the last time I saw this. A corner in coverage, his helmet popping off. And he got a
bloody lip.
Bloody lip.
I had to think there was a reason that helmet came off, right? Helmets don't just fly off.
Yeah, it might have been a little contact.
So a 1st and goal from the 10. Pavia throws over the middle. It's caught by Alexander. A stiff arm. Spinning in. Touchdown. Vanderbilt. 6 drives, 6 touchdowns in this first half. A late flag thrown well after it was ruled a touchdown.
The result of the play is a touchdown. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
So roughing the passer, count the touchdown. This is as impressive an offensive we've seen all season, Rocky. 6 drives, 6 touchdowns. They go 83 yards in 53 seconds without using the 1 timeout they had. Think about that.
And it's just a great job of getting open by Cedric Alexander. You know, he comes out and then just, you see Josiah Robinson just overplaying. He cuts right back underneath. Call that an angle route. And again, just the impeccable accuracy, footing that ball over top of the line. And here's the thing, too, that makes it even more impressive. Diego Pavia, he's listed as 6 foot. That might be generous. So he's having to look through all these tall offensive linemen and find those open windows to throw the ball in still with impeccable accuracy.
And because of the personal foul for roughing the passer, Vanderbilt will kick this off from the 50. And Clark Lea's team gets the ball to start the second half. Commodores already pouring it on here. What a first half for Diego Pavia. 16 of 20. 4 of those incompletions, 2 were drops. 236 yards and a touchdown, and then 86 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown as well.
Well, you know, their job tonight was to come out and not have a letdown, right? Coming off of 2 big wins on the road at Virginia Tech, a huge one last week at South Carolina. Do you come out and be flat? Well, this first half, Jay, they've been anything but flat.
TJ Finley back into the game. We have not seen him since the 3rd series. Picks out Amos, who loses his footing before he could get out of bounds. That's kind of the first half it's been for Georgia State. Right when they're about to make something happen, you fall a couple of inches short. And that will finish the first half. But you can't do it any better than that. Vanderbilt coming home to a hero's welcome after back-to-back Power 4 wins on the road. And they have delivered under the bright lights of Nashville. Diego Pavia near perfect in this first half. 6 offensive possessions, 6 touchdowns for Vandy. We still have a second half to play. It is all Commodores. They are halfway on their way to 4-0. One of the best starts in school history. And it's been on full display here in the Music City. to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Dr. Pepper. Terrific halftime show. The drones out in the skies of the Music City, and a flawless first half by Vanderbilt. Look at that, 42-9, a commanding halftime lead for the number 20 Commodores. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. Take a look at that first half, both sides of the ball. Just a perfect performance.
It has, and I mean, for Diego Pavia, we hyped him up coming into this game, and he has absolutely delivered with his performance in the first half. And it's a little bit of everything. It's him being creative and tucking it and running and keeping it, then the pinpoint accuracy, and how much he's spreading the ball around, Jay. 9 different wide receivers, half catches, 4 different players, half touchdowns. Just couldn't be more impressed with how he has just maneuvered this offense up and down the field, doing what he has to do to make this team great.
Now that says it all right there. 6 offensive drives, 6 touchdowns for Diego Pavia and this Commodores offense. And if you thought that there was going to be a letdown after going on the road and beating Virginia Tech at number 11 South Carolina last Saturday, Clark Lee's team has responded emphatically with that first half performance.
It goes out of the end zone. Will be first and 10 for 25.
This at halftime, Diego Pavia dapping up his boy Theo Vaughn. Now Cole Kublik with some great research on the sidelines in Columbia, South Carolina. He said Theo Vaughn told him that if Diego Pavia beat South Carolina on the road, knocked off the number 11 Gamecocks, that Theo Vaughn was going to go on a date with Pavia's mom. Well, there's more to the story.
There's more to
that
it.
was half of it.
Yeah,
Pavia said Theo
great.
Vaughn's got to secure a date with Tate McRae, which might be tough to do because she's on tour right now. But Theo Vaughn sent the direct message, and hey, you never know. If Travis Kelce can end up with Taylor Swift, why can't Diego Pavia end up with Tate McRae?
There's Diego's mom right there.
I said, is mom in on this? Well, she doesn't really know about it. We're going to cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay.
Well, you got to shoot your shot, right, as the kids say these days?
I'm thinking plenty shots are going to be taken on Broadway on a Saturday night in Nashville.
No doubt.
In more ways than one. 42-9 Vandy started this second half. You know, question becomes, how long do you keep Pavia in this game?
That's true. I mean, he is the engine of this entire team. I mean, you absolutely can't go throughout the rest of this season with him getting nicked up. You know, maybe you do something where you try to limit the amount of plays where he's, you know, trying to find contact, but that's the thing. He's that kind of player. He only plays one way.
Third and 1. MK Young in the backfield with Pavia. Pavia set to throw. It was deflected at the line of scrimmage. Falls incomplete.
Pass was tipped and goes incomplete.
And Vanderbilt not sending the punt unit on. They're going to go for this on 4th and 1. Interesting call up, 42-9, and
very interesting. And again, go with a 3 tight end set. Cole Spence, Gabe Fisher.
You're at your own 34-yard line, so if you don't get this, you give momentum to Georgia State to start this second half. Pavia under center, play action. He was looking for Caleb Barnett, missed him, and that's a turnover on downs. The first possession of the night that does not result in a touchdown for Diego Pavia, and Georgia State takes over at the Vandy 34.
I thought it was a bad decision. I thought it was an even worse play call in that situation. Do you want a flat route, scream to the outside on a 4th down attempt? I don't think it's something you want there, but Clark Lee rolled the dice and didn't come up with it.
Heaping praise, and rightly so, at halftime on Clark Lee and the way his team played in the first half. A perfect performance truly on both sides of the ball, and now the Vandy defense put into a tough spot here. Finley throwing on first down, finds Ted Hurst, who's wrestled down. So if you're Georgia State and you're hoping for a miracle, the problem is this Vanderbilt defense has only allowed 3 points in 3 second halves this season. Look at that. Shutout in all the third quarters, just a field goal in the fourth quarter.
They get better as the game goes on.
False start. Offense number 69. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
This defense facing a short field at a challenge here. The false start will help the Commodores D as the 11th Georgia State penalty tonight. And penalties have plagued the Panthers in a big way. They keep it on the ground. Dennis Murray Jr. not much running room. Martel Height made the tackle for Vandy. A 3rd and 5. TJ Finley trying to capitalize after the turnover on downs forced by the Georgia State defense.
There's Hurst down the bottom.
No doubt the top target. Finley looking his way, throws to Hurst. Great catch. Ted Hurst and keeps the drive alive.
This is what the NFL scouts are going to like. I mean, he's impressive, but look at those moves to create separation, and then a great job by Finley putting the ball up high because he's 6'3" and he can flat jump out of the stadium. That was an impressive play. Again, why the NFL scouts love him. You can't press him because he's got the footwork to beat you at the line.
Comes off the field ahead of this 1st and 10 inside the red zone. Amos trying to burst through the line. There's a flag down.
Amos on the carry.
Illegal substitution against the defense. More than 11 players on the field. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And Georgia State is substituted, so Vandy was trying to substitute, but couldn't get enough guys off the field in time.
Well, give Georgia State credit. You're down 42-9 at halftime. Vanderbilt starting with the ball. You're thinking this could get even uglier, and they have responded great at the start of this third quarter, forcing the turnover on downs, and now a chance for points here. Vanderbilt has not allowed a touchdown in the second half this season. Georgia State trying to change that. Langston Patterson, Marlon Sewell combining on the stop.
Five substitutes coming in for Vanderbilt's defense. Can they get him off the field in time? Nope.
Free play. Floating to the end zone over the head of Hurst.
Pass goes incomplete. Flag on the play.
Illegal substitution against the defense. More than 11 players on the field during the play. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. Second down.
And Vandy's running 5 guys out there, but only 4 come off. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 as they bring those 5 on, and then yeah, the guy on the far side isn't aware and doesn't have enough time to get off the field.
Finley rolling right, throws to the back of the end zone. It's caught. Leo Blackburn, and a flag comes in after the Blackburn catch for a late hit. Great grab. Blackburn just snared it out of the sky.
The result of the play is a touchdown. Personal foul. Late hit. Number 3 of the defense. That penalty is 15 yards is reinforced on the kickoff.
It was Colby Taylor on the late hit after Blackburn beat him.
Leo Blackburn in a great play call there, because it looks like Leo Blackburn's coming in to set the pick for Hurst in the flat, but then he bends right back out of that thing to the back half of the back part of the end zone.
So after Finley throws the touchdown, it's Cameron Brown on for the 2-point attempt, and nothing doing there. Vanderbilt read that perfectly to deny the 2-point. Sidnor on the stop. Vandy gets the ball back when we come back.
ESPN College Football, presented by Dr. Pepper, is brought to you by Salted Caramel Toffee Iced Coffee for only $2.99. Live free. Eat Sonic.
Broadway on a Saturday night. That's what Nashville has become known for. I mean, Rocky, when you played for the Titans 2 decades ago, it didn't look like it does now, does it?
It didn't, but I've spent a few nights down on Broadway, Jay, back in the day. Fun times.
And Georgia State squibs it. Vandy alert. This will be good starting field position for the Commodores. Let's take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by Goodyear. A lot of teams in the top 10 off. Everybody else taking care of business. Miami, the closest result right now over on ABC against Florida.
I'll tell you what, Jay, the team, in my opinion, to watch is that one right there, Oregon. I think they're playing at a high level right now. 41-7 win today. Got a chance to watch them a little bit last week, and I'm telling you, they're a team to be reckoned with.
New quarterback in for Vanderbilt. And the Commodores 42-9 halftime lead. Let Pavia have the first possession. It was a turnover on downs, and then Georgia State scored a touchdown. So it's not like Vanderbilt has increased their lead, but they feel like they're in a good spot. And we get our first look at Blaze Berlowitz, another transfer from New Mexico State, who was part of that 2023 team that won 10 games. And the offensive staff came over from New Mexico State to Vandy and brought Pavia and Berlowitz with them. They keep it on the ground. Stepping on the gas. M.K. Young inside the 10. Touchdown! Shot out of a cannon. 60-yard touchdown. M.K. Young. The Georgia State defender is down in the end zone. Bernard Causey, who was trying to chase down Young.
And he picks up a great block by Sterling Porcher. Watch this right here, I believe. Going to come down the line, and then the seal block, bang, right there on the linebacker, Kobe Owens, and he is off to the races. And the way he hit that thing downhill and picked up that seal block, picture perfect.
And that's Causey, who tried to take him down right before the goal line. It stays down. He's still down, getting treated by the medical staff. Trying to make a hustle play there and deny a touchdown, and good to see him pop back up. That is now 6 rushing touchdowns on the night for Vanderbilt. That is the most in at least the last 25 seasons. And we still have 9:23 to go in this third quarter. And going back to the first half, the 42 first half points, most they've scored in a half in the last 30 seasons. So all sorts of history being set, not just tonight, but this entire season for Vanderbilt. 49-15 lead. This one all doors. Jimmy and Melinda Williams, who call themselves Sidewalk alumni, because even though they didn't go to Vandy, you'd be hard-pressed to find more loyal fans of the Doors. Melinda chose what she liked at an early age. By the age of 17, she fell in love with two things: her high school sweetheart, Jimmy, and the lovable underdog, Vanderbilt. So in the early 2000s, when it came to doing something fun on a Saturday, instead of picking up a golf club or buying a boat, Jimmy and Melinda got season tickets to Vanderbilt, and the rest is history. So fun checking out their tailgate today. Over the years, they've become Vandy super fans. Not just football season tickets, but baseball, men's and women's basketball, volleyball, and they have got the best tailgate in Vandyville. There they are, and while they're loving all the recent success, they've powered through some tough games and seasons the last 25 years being Vandy super fans. And Jimmy and Melinda, they started this in the early 2000s with just 6 people, 3 other couples. One of those original 6, Tracy. That is Melinda and Tracy. They've been friends since kindergarten. And Tracy missing the tailgate in the game today because she's recovering from surgery she had on Thursday as she battles breast cancer. Her husband Barry was there, said she did great. We're sending love to Tracy. And what an incredible story. Started with just 3 couples, the original 6 they call themselves. And Melinda and Tracy go back to just 5 years old, and now all these years later, 56 years later, they get to root on Vandy together every Saturday. And you know, Jimmy says, look, it's been tough sledding during these 25 years being a Vandy fan, but if you can't win the game, you have to win the tailgate. And now I told him, you get to win both.
I was going to say, I mean, how impressive. They have hung in there a long time through a lot of dark days, a lot of dark years, and they are surely getting rewarded right now with how well this team is playing.
And those original 3 couples, 6 people, has grown to over 50 just over the course of 25 years. I think Jimmy and Melinda are watching it on their phone.
I think so. Loving it.
He's going to find out that we've got a, 30-second delay or something. 3rd down here for Georgia State. Vandy's defense has been dialed in from the start. Finley surveys, in trouble, tries to escape, down he goes. Capers all over it.
And they showed 5 and then just dropped 1 out. There's your guys, Jay.
Jimmy, you got to watch the game. Your defense just got a 3rd down stop.
He says I'm on TV.
That's fantastic.
That is great.
We've been fortunate to start the season in the SEC. Blocked punt, and it's taken in for a touchdown. Vanderbilt special teams delivers. Jamison Curtis for a scoop and score off the blocked punt.
There's just a lot of pressure right up the middle and took it right off the foot. Another explosive play for Vandy.
First blocked punt for a touchdown since 2014 for Vanderbilt. The Commodores can't stop making history, and Curtis throws on the cowboy hat. And that's the type of night it's been for the Commodores. They're showing why they've got a number next to their name, doing it all in all 3 phases. And Jimmy and Melinda love it. All Vandy. watching the SEC on ESPN. There has been plenty to shout about at First Bank Stadium if you're a Vandy fan. They've now got touchdowns all over the field, including a blocked punt. 56 points on the board just midway through this third quarter, Rocky.
Yeah, and Vanderbilt did a great job of overloading one side. There's 6 guys over here, only 2 there, and right there, there's just not enough guys to block, and Jamison Curtis comes right up the pipe and gets a left paw on that ball. Takes it off the foot. Doesn't rough the kicker, just a great job. But again, Georgia State did not adjust to when Vandy overloaded that left side.
The first blocked punt for a Vanderbilt touchdown since 2014. They also blocked an extra point earlier this game. Well, they have left no doubt. Flag comes in right as the tackle was being made.
Personal foul, face mask. Defense, number 29. 15-yard penalty. First down.
You know, for Vandy, Rocky, you've been in control. There's Mark Cuban. You never know who's going to be in Nashville on a Saturday night. Taking selfies.
Mark Cuban was also at the steakhouse we were at last night. He came
Was he?
later. Yeah.
What, you stay without me?
No, I got a guy who knows a guy. He told me.
Well, Rocky did play for the Tennessee Titans for 4 years. You were remarking how much the city has changed. And what was your final year with the Titans?
2005. I was here drafted.
So 20 years ago.
4th round. Yes. God, when you say it like that. Now watch the shot that Clark Lee takes on the sideline. So it was a pretty tough hit, but he didn't fall down.
Clark Lee's a tough guy. Played fullback. Come on.
Let's get another look at this here. Let's see. There's Lee right there. Boom. He kind of turns and gonna get knocked out of his feet.
That hit the backside of Colby Taylor, who's letting Ted Hurst know it.
Unfazed. Look at him.
I so enjoyed our conversation with Clark Lee yesterday, you know, telling us I don't have to take for granted where we are because I know where we've come from. The belief he had to build in a program that has been the bottom of the SEC for so long. And you know, last season was so important because he said we had to prove it to ourselves we can do it. And this year that confidence is embedded, and it certainly has showed up tonight. You know, Hurst makes the catch. I think Vandy's going to be called for another face mask for the 2nd time this drive.
Personal foul, face mask. Defense, number 6. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
I think you're seeing, Rocky, why Georgia State is going to be okay when it comes to Sun Belt play, because you got T.J. Finley and Ted Hurst. That's a dangerous combination.
And for Georgia State, they're going to have a bye week after this, so be able to get rested up, and then we'll open up their conference play versus James Madison.
They have had a brutal non-conference slate. Opened the season at Ole Miss. Finley, dangerous ball, nearly picked off. They opened the season at Ole Miss, then had to play Memphis, who just beat Arkansas.
Right.
Murray State, who they beat, and now another SEC opponent in Vandy.
Yeah, just talking with Del McGee this week, and I think he likes his team, and his team is from all over the place. Lots of transfers in, some guys on their 2nd, 3rd school, but he likes to make up with this bunch, and thinks they'll certainly be battle hardened coming out of this brutal stretch here as they enter league play.
Play action, quick hitter. This will set up a 3rd and manageable. First catch of the season for Avion McBride. 3rd and 4. Finley surveys on the run, rolling right. Lets it fly and squeezes it in for a Georgia State first down. There is a penalty flag in the Panthers backfield.
I think they're going to get a hold here, Jay.
This will be coming back.
Hold it. Offense number 56. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And Mason Nelson was shooting through the defensive tackle for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, that was DeAndre Duffus, right guard there, 56. You can see the top.
Third and 15 after the holding call. Finley trying to keep the drive alive. And checked it well short of the sticks. Javon Robinson did make the catch. Now you got 4th and 14 and you're in no man's land. And Finley's looking to the sideline. What are we doing here? And Georgia State's going to attempt the field goal. Braden McAllister did connect on the opening possession of this game for a 52-yard field goal. Tied for the 2nd longest in Georgia State history. The longest, Will Lutz, longtime NFL kicker. This from 49. Didn't get it cleanly. Wobbled its way to the end zone. No good. WNBA playoffs roll on tomorrow with a pair of game ones in the best-of-5 semifinals. Asia Wilson and the Aces hosting Kelsey Mitchell and the Fever, 3 Eastern on ABC. And then on ESPN it is Phoenix at Minnesota. Rocky and I are rooting for Indiana after we met Sophie Cunningham last week at Mizzou.
Yeah.
Spent some time with her in the booth.
Yeah, she is a total rock star. Got inducted in the Missouri Hall of Fame.
Yep. All-time leading point scorer in Mizzou women's basketball history. Berlowitz hit as he released it, but still muscled it. Enough on it to Tristan Brown. Big throw there, Blaise Berlowitz.
Yeah, good job by Berlowitz, but good job by the offensive line holding up, and then some late pressure, but good job of hanging in there.
This ball comes out funky.
He just hangs on all the way until Tristan Brown can get from one side of the field all the way over to the other.
Good reps here for Berlowitz with the game in hand, 56-15. Pavia's night is over after he put on a huge performance. 245 passing yards, 86 rushing yards. 2 touchdowns as well.
A little off target on that one there, as we've been discussing.
So with Pavia's night over and Vanderbilt on their way to 4-0, Rocky, what do you... We were talking at halftime. When does this Vandy team go from, okay, it's a fun story, Vanderbilt, they've been in the basement, they've started strong, to this team is legitimate and needs to be taken seriously for college football playoff, and Pavia, a Heisman candidate?
I think certainly Pavia is in the Heisman conversation. I think the top 2 guys, Cade Klubnik and Arch Manning, the preseason favorites, they're not a part of that conversation right now, in my opinion.
It played their way out of it.
So why not Pavia? And if Vanderbilt keeps winning, you know, and I think just Pavia has that likability factor to him. If he keeps playing at a high level and Vandy wins, why can't he be mentioned in that Heisman conversation?
And to me, the case for Pavia is not just going to be statistics.
No.
It's going to be, you're the face of a program that went from a bottom feeder in the SEC to potentially an incredible storybook season. And again,
but he is an incredible story. Whether, you know, he's downfield blocking, he's, you know, late flipping the ball. He's, you know, he's just incredible, fun, non-traditional player to watch, and I think there's something to that. Again, in a year where there's just not that, at least so far, not that just dominant, big, tall quarterback that we're used to seeing in recent years.
And the 2 wins on the road, Virginia Tech, South Carolina, were huge to start this season and just get some momentum behind this team. They got Utah State next week, the 4-game stretch that'll set the story for Vanderbilt and Diego Pavia. At Alabama, LSU, Mizzou, and at Texas.
That is a gauntlet. And you asked me when will they really arrive on the scene. Tell you what, you enter that stretch at 5-0 and you can maybe split and go 2-2. I think that does it right there.
And Clark Lee said, look, at some point this season, we will be met with a storm. The storm will hit us, but we've built a foundation that is strong enough that the roof will stay on.
Yeah, I mean, in a long season like there is in college football, it's going to come. It's just, as he said, can you weather it? Can you keep your team together? Can you learn from things, but not unravel? That's all part of it.
You know, last year, the early season storm for Vanderbilt was this Georgia State team. They go to Atlanta and lose 36-32. You know, bounce back and beat Alabama, and biggest win in Vanderbilt history.
Yeah, and I just think so much of being a head coach is really being a psychologist and just figuring out what's making your team tick and what do they need? Do they need to be yelled at? Do they need to be given confidence? Do they need to, you know, all those sort of things play into it. I just think Clark Lee is one of the best in the business at that.
He has pushed all the right buttons. It started last season, and they have made a statement with how they've played the first 4 games. I think if you took the name of the school out of it and just turned on the tape, this is a top 10 team in the country.
I think so. And certainly, I mean, looks like a real SEC team right now with how that offensive line we discussed earlier, bringing in the 4 new starters via the transfer portal. Big bodies are going 311, 323, 309, 325. That's some good size. And then some playmakers on the perimeter.
Lassiter the carry, needing 7. He stopped short. A decision to make if you're Vandy. 4th and 3. Now your second string in there offensively, so a good opportunity to give them a rep on a 4th and short.
Yeah, these are valuable reps right here you're getting. As the season goes on and guys get hurt, you want guys that may have to come into the game to have some experience. Not just playing, but having experience in bigger situations like this 4th down.
Berlowitz hands off Lassiter and maybe gave it to him a little late. Georgia State wraps him up, but it's a turnover on downs for the 2nd time tonight, forced by the Panthers defense.
Yeah, and I just think that's the decision. If Pavia is at the helm, it just looks more seamless, right? That read of, do you give it, do you pull it? Looks a little smoother when Diego Pavia is pulling off.
Tuesday on the SEC Network and ESPN2, and of course the all-new ESPN app. You don't want to miss the exclusive reveal of the football opponents for each SEC school over the next 4 years. A complete breakdown and a 1-hour special at 7 Eastern. Remember, this will be the first time that there will be 9 conference games in the SEC where they reveal the next 4 years. So very excited to see how that plays out. 1 minute remaining in this third quarter. Finley slings it over the middle. TJ Finley has shown flashes tonight. Recruited originally as an SEC quarterback to LSU, then transferred to Auburn. Remember, he wasn't eligible, cleared by the NCAA until after the first game of the season against Ole Miss. So these reps are important for him as they head into conference play.
Yeah, and he's a guy who's always had the tools, right? 6'7", 230, elite arm talent. And he has obviously a lot of experience stemming from all those stops.
Yeah, this is school number 6. Moves the chains there to finish this third quarter. Vanderbilt a 41-point lead as we head to the fourth quarter. The Doors showing everybody why they've got a number next to their name for the first time in September since 1956. An incredible performance through 3 quarters. The SEC on ESPN. Well, through 4 weeks of the college football season, Vanderbilt has put the college football world on notice. You could not have scripted a stronger start to the Commodores season, not just tonight, but impressive through 3 games, and then to put this on tape. Wow.
Right. It's not just that they're winning, but it's that they're winning big, and they're doing it with a certain style too. Like, it's just a little bit different with the unique offense they run, with the unique quarterback that we have. It just makes it all the more impressive.
But when you hear a stat like, this is the first time since 1930 that Vanderbilt has started the season with 3 wins by 20 or more. 95 years of playing football. And then in game 4, they're likely going to continue that. They're up 41. It's just been a truly historic season for Clark Lea and this group, a team that believes. Hurst, his first drop of the night. And look at that, 1956, 1930. When you're doing things you haven't done in decades and decades. The other thing for Vandy during that stretch is when the Commodores would crack in to the top 25, they'd have a letdown. So the last time they actually won a game as a ranked team, you'd have to go back to October 2008. So it's not just creating the success, but sustaining the success that just has not been done here, and is a testament to what Clark Lea has built. And I go back to what Brian Longwell, the outstanding linebacker, told us yesterday. We're not a feel-good story. And I said, but you are. I mean, it can be both, right? It's a good thing to be a feel-good story. He goes, but that's not enough. We are chasing championships. And the sincerity he said that with, it does make you wonder. Martel Height making a few men miss as he returns it to the 30. Vandy offense back out on the field, up 41 when we return.
ESPN College Football is presented by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper. College football, it's a pepper thing. and in part by DQ. Happy tastes good.
What a night for Diego Pavia. This Vanderbilt offense, 56 points on the board. Pavia's night is done. It's Blaise Berlowitz who's in at quarterback. Gabe Fields behind him. And this is a Commodores offense that obviously brings over Pavia, and he's the face, but Tim Beck came with Pavia from New Mexico State, part of Jerry Kill's staff, and Jerry Kill joined the Vanderbilt staff as well. Beck spent most of his career at Pittsburgh State. He played there, Division II school, then was a student assistant in 1987. He stayed there until 2019 as the head coach, won a Division II national championship there. And what makes Beck so unique is known at Pittsburgh State for running the option, which obviously they have a lot of here at Vanderbilt, as Caleb Barnett flies upfield after the catch. And that was pistol elements that he learned
from Nevada.
From Nevada, went out there in the 1990s and learned how they implemented the pistol. But he has combined it with Mike Leach principles of spread and 4 verticals. And Rocky, you were saying as a defender, you just don't get a lot of offenses that are option, pistol, and 4 vert spread.
Literally opposite ends of the spectrum. And Tim Beck told us yesterday that, one of the downsides of the option is, look, if you get down in a game, you don't really have the ability to get back and score quick and get back in it. So that's why he mixed in some of those 4 vert air raid elements, and I think it's just been the perfect marriage. And by the way, I mean, you see college football staffs, they'll be like they'll bring a couple coaches and a couple players, usually not coming from New Mexico State, right? But because of that unique system out there and how great of a football coach Jerry Kill is and his involvement, I think it's worked out perfect for Vandy.
Good to see Robinson walking off under his own power. A great article this week written by Pat Forty, Sports Illustrated. He included in it that when Clark Lee flew to New Mexico State to interview Tim Beck for the offensive coordinator job, Jerry Kill, who was the current head coach of New Mexico State, sat in the interview. And Clark Lee's thinking, what's going on here? Yeah. I'm here to interview his OC, and I think Kill was thinking, this all sounds pretty good. I'm going to get in on this. And then Lee recruited Kill, and basically that entire offensive staff, including the offensive line coach, Chris Klanakis, who helped invent the pistol at Nevada in the 90s. So it's just this incredible offensive staff. And so when you look at the scoreboard and go, wow, how does Vandy have 56 points? Obviously, Pavia is a big part of it, but it's the staff as well.
Yeah, and Jerry Kill, I had the pleasure calling his last game at Minnesota. And, he's one of those guys that just loves and coaches this game so hard that it physically affects his health. And, so he had to give it up after Minnesota, but couldn't stay away, came back. Yeah, he was an analyst somewhere, a couple places, and then wound up taking the head job at New Mexico State. And had to step down for some health reasons there, but now here he is back with his staff and these players here at Vanderbilt.
Now Vandy has to burn a timeout there with the play clock winding down. You'll step aside as well. 6:15 earlier this week on the Paul Feinbaum Show, linebacker Langston Patterson celebrated John Kelly, a teacher and a coach who holds a special place in his heart. Take a listen.
So then I get into high school, and Stanford tells me that I have to take 2 AP classes to be accepted into Stanford. And so I was like, I don't know what AP classes to take. Like, I don't want to fail them or anything. And one of the ones I got put in was AP Computer Science. And I didn't know anything about coding. I didn't know anything about JavaScript or whatever it is. Coach Kelly can talk to you more about that. But really, as a teacher, he just poured into me and helped me grow so much. And it kind of reshaped my view on teaching and what it should be.
Now that might be the best thing ESPN does. We do at ESPN. Support the College Football Playoff Foundation's Extra Yard for Teachers Week each year to celebrate great teachers across the country who have inspired so many of us. You can nominate a great teacher in your community by visiting cfpfoundation.org. Third and 8 here for the backup Berlowitz. Pressure comes, steps up, decides to tuck and run. He's looking like Diego Pavia. Berlowitz lowers his shoulder, rolls inside the 15. There is a flag down in the secondary. But yeah, shades of Pavia there.
A great decision by Berlowitz.
There appear to be 2 flags down, one at the 45-yard line and one at the 26. That looks like one of the penalties there. Seems to be some frustration flags from Georgia State.
Yeah.
During the run, holding, defense number 3. That penalty is half the distance to the goal. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense 28, offense number 15. Those penalties all set. The result of the play is a first down.
So the gain of 43 by Berlowitz, and they tack on more yardage after the penalty.
Good job by Berlowitz. They're sensing the rush there to the outside by Marlon Dean. Steps up in the pocket, doesn't try to force a ball downfield into coverage, just sees the green grass and hits it.
You got to have a lot of respect for Berlowitz, who transfers from New Mexico State following the offensive staff we talked about on the previous possession, knowing he's going there as a backup.
Right. Yeah. But hey, he wanted to be a part of this special thing they have here at Vanderbilt.
Decides to run it again, this time successfully for a touchdown. Vandy lighting up the scoreboard tonight. Over 60 points.
Berlowitz, Jay, that makes the 6th different Vandy player score a touchdown tonight.
This is the most points Vanderbilt has scored at home since 1969. A historic season has continued here in week 4. It has been all Vandy in Nashville. Take a look at that scoreboard. Vanderbilt 63, Georgia State 15. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you, and we are running out of superlatives to pour onto this Vanderbilt performance. Simply incredible. And if this score holds, this will be the first time since 1916, more than 100 years, that Vanderbilt has started a season scoring 30 or more points in the first 4 games. Next Saturday, a couple of SEC showdowns on ABC. LSU at Ole Miss, Alabama at Georgia. There, the tripleheader begins with Notre Dame at Arkansas. We were watching that Memphis, Arkansas in the hotel before we came over here to First Bank Stadium.
During the return, holding, return team number 47. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
A great come from behind win for Memphis, and just a gut-wrenching loss for Arkansas. For the second week in a row, they're driving with a chance to put the game away, and a fumble cost them a win.
Yeah, fumble right, inside about the 6-yard line. Even if they don't get any more yards, they kick a field goal and make it pretty tough on Memphis. But got to give Ryan Silverfield and company a lot of credit.
And Finley swings it quickly. Camden Overton Howard the catch. And we've talked a lot tonight about the Vanderbilt offense, and rightly so. But this Vanderbilt defense, Rocky, continues to deliver through 4 games this season. They are not showing any weaknesses. Their whole unit has been so impressive.
And coming into this game, they were the 3rd-ranked scoring D, the 4th-ranked rushing D. Gave up just a 3rd most amount of yards.
And speaking with head coach Clark Lee, who has a defensive background, came over to Vandy, defensive coordinator at Notre Dame. He said this team on D is so connected, so selfless, cohesive. You don't see the busted plays. So difficult to break down. His defensive coordinator Steve Gregory standing next to him on the sideline. And Vanderbilt has only allowed 38 rushing yards tonight. Part of that is Georgia State has been forced to put it in the air after going down early 21-3 in the first quarter, and Vandy has had their foot firmly planted on the gas.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
14 penalties against Georgia State tonight. Dell McGee won't like that. Finley from his own end zone in trouble. Just tosses it. And passes ruled incomplete, dropped by Overton Howard. Vandy's defense forces another punt. It'll be good starting field position for Vandy's offense. Not like they've needed help today, putting up 63. Although 7 of those came from a blocked punt. AT&T keeps us connected with tonight's best moment, and there was a lot to choose from. We gave it to M.K. Young for a 60-yard touchdown run.
60-yard scamper right up the middle, combination of great blocking and then the speed by M.K. Young right down the pipe. His run game playing with authority. Diego Pavia making great decisions, accurate with the football. It's a total recipe for success.
The Commodores going with their third-string quarterback, Drew Dickey. Going to let him throw on first down. That sails incomplete. Dickey, a senior out of Austin, Texas, where he played at the Regent School. Led that program to an undefeated season his senior year and a state title. So an opportunity for Dickey here with this game in hand. Quarterback keeper. I'm shocked they let him throw it on first down. Rocky, you're thinking both of these teams at this point just run the clock, get out of here healthy, move on.
Yeah, but I think if you got your third-string quarterback in, you want him to get some reps and, you know, get some opportunities. Put the ball downfield a little bit.
Third and 11, Dickey scrambles, throws on the run, drops it right in the bucket. Tristan Brown the catch. How about the third-string senior, Drew Dickey, dialing it up.
And I don't know how the cornerback for Georgia State, Deuce Fillmore, missed this. This ball went right between his hands. Watch this. I mean, literally, what a great pass. Tristan Brown.
So Vanderbilt an opportunity to make it 70. The statement performances continue for this Commodores team. They've looked better and better each week. You know, start with a convincing win against Charleston Southern, then you go at Virginia Tech. You're down at halftime, you roar back and throttle the Hokies in the second half. Then you go to number 11 South Carolina and you crush them 31-7. You might hang 70 on Georgia State.
So next week you go Utah State, and then of course you could be potentially 5-0 going into that big one right there at Alabama. They beat them last year. How about if they did it at Crimson Tide?
You're going to have Alabama's full attention looking for revenge.
But also Alabama's coming off Georgia and potentially beat up and focus on that
game. Drew Dickey, the senior, with his first collegiate touchdown untouched. That is 8 rushing touchdowns tonight for Vanderbilt. Incredible.
And you gotta love it. I mean, Drew Dickey, a third-string quarterback. Look at how those guys are fired up for him, his offensive line. There's Diego Pavia right there getting fired up for his guy. That's wonderful.
That is a team that is connected from top to bottom.
Yeah.
70 for the first time since 1918. Vanderbilt has scored 70 points in a football game.
And look, part of this for Vanderbilt is, you know, you want to stand out. And yeah, and when winning's one thing, but when you can do it and put 70 points on the board while doing it, yeah, it kind of starts to separate you a little bit. Gets people's attention.
And you knew they were not going to take Georgia State lightly because Georgia State beat them a year ago. So again, they came in with their full attention and delivered a masterclass of a performance, where even the third-string quarterback, Drew Dickey, gets into the game and scores his first collegiate touchdown. If you're Clark Lea, do you have trouble picking out things to improve in the midweek as you get ready for Utah State?
No, and that's the art of a good coach. You know, I played 2 years with the Colts and Tony Dungy, and we'd have games where we would just throttle people, and you would come in on Monday, and there'd be 5 plays he'd put up on the video screen of, hey, we keep doing this, guys, we're going to get beat. And that's what Clark Lea is going to dive through that tape and dissect it and find the little things. And it's always the little things, never the big things that get teams beat. It's just the little things. And, you know, a guy not lining up correctly, you know, a guy not having the right gap. Those little things, they're going to go over this tape with a fine-tooth comb and put them up on the screen and learn from them.
Thinking about the Vanderbilt fans that have been on the opposing side of a game like this so often through the years.
Yeah, it feels good to be on this side.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
There just hasn't been that many games over the years where you go and beat number 11 in the country on the road and you come back and hang 70 on your opponent. This is truly uncharted territory for this program as they continue to make history through the first 4 weeks of this college football season.
Yeah, certainly some of these fans have not seen either.
Big hit. That's the true freshman from Memphis, Austin Howard, getting some game time and making the most of it. Rocky, we've been fortunate. We've started the first 4 weeks all in the SEC. Florida, LSU, Mizzou, and now Vandy. All 4 of those teams were ranked at the time. Florida has fallen off a cliff, so we'll take them out of it. But would you say Vandy the most impressive that you and I have seen?
You know, we saw Mizzou last week. I thought they looked good, you know, against a good Louisiana team. But, I mean, it's hard to ignore the dominance of Vandy here tonight. You know, again, it's not just a bunch of bubble screens and guys getting loose. It's the offensive line pushing people around. It's the run game. It's Diego Pavia. It's his defense flying around. I think you certainly could, Jay, make a case. This has been the most impressive team we've seen.
And Mizzou followed up that performance by beating South Carolina tonight, 29-20. LSU stayed unbeaten as well, taking care of Southeastern Louisiana. Now, you say it every year, but you just look around the SEC and it is just so good. And they go 10 deep that you could look at and go, all 10 of these teams have a case that they could make the college football playoff.
That's it. Man, some of the the regulars are a lot of times always going to be in that conversation, but now this year you're going to have a team like Vanderbilt who's usually not, and I think they could possibly put themselves in that situation.
Well, they're believing. Diego Pavia looked us in the eye and said, we're going to win a national championship. And when he says it, he believes it. He doesn't do it for effect. That is the belief that they have in this building. And through 4 weeks of this college football season, I wouldn't doubt him. Finley checks it down off the play action. Georgia State goes into a bye week, and I think that's much needed. You just flush this game and focus on the Sun Belt after a brutal non-conference schedule where they faced Ole Miss, Memphis, and Vandy.
I mean, knock on wood, didn't look like anybody's had a serious injury. So, yeah, you come out of this one, you rest up some bumps and bruises and get ready for conference play.
As we look at how Vandy got the 70 points, blocked punt for a touchdown, but the 8 rushing touchdowns. The last SEC team to have 8 rushing touchdowns against an FBS opponent, LSU, in 1997. Now, you don't see teams get 8 rushing touchdowns in a single game. And it was scored by 7 different players. That's not just one guy. That's not just one guy going off. 7 different players rushed for a touchdown tonight for Vanderbilt.
That speaks to them having a shot, maybe being in the conversation as this season goes on. You know, if you got one dominant guy, it's easier for these better teams to take that guy away, even 2. But when you got a whole stable of running backs, you know, great tight ends like Eli Stowers and Cole Spence, wide receivers Sherrill, Height, Richardson, Hoskins, a lot of weapons.
Finley in trouble, loses the helmet. Down he goes. Mason Nelson the sack. And that's the thing, Rocky. So difficult to scout when it's not just shutting down 1 or 2 guys. When they got 10, 11 players that they can put in on offense. And
you throw it at it. You can't double everybody. You know? You can't stack the box for one guy.
And you've got to have somebody spying Pavia, or else he'll make you pay. And Georgia State, with the play clock winding down, has to use a timeout. They switched their quarterback too because Finley lost his helmet. That slowed things down.
First charge time of the half, Georgia State. 30 seconds.
So, Rocky, as we take a look at the SEC, Clark Lea's team, we're telling you they're going to play a factor this season, no doubt about it. 11 teams ranked in the top 25, which is just incredible.
It's what makes it tough, though. I mean, Vanderbilt having a once in a long time kind of season, but just, I mean, look at all these teams that are great in the SEC. See it year in, year out.
Yeah, the new name to that list is Vandy. And they're here to try and ruin the party in the SEC. Errant pass on 3rd and 14.
That's good. Stephen Lee intended for Peyton. Brings up 4th down.
What has impressed you most about Vanderbilt's performance tonight, Rocky?
I think it's kind of like we just talked about. It's not like one guy taking a game over. It's lots of players. It's the different aspects. The run game solid. The offensive line solid. Pass game, receivers solid. Diego Pavia, a special kind of quarterback in the way he can run and make quick decisions. I mean, you know, the teams that are.
Well, best play of the night for Georgia State on 4th and 14. Touchdown, DJ Riles on a beautiful ball by TJ Finley.
A great ball by Finley here. Just dropped it right in the bucket over top of the defender. Van Zyl.
Georgia State lining up to go for 2. The one thing the Panthers can be proud of tonight is first 3 weeks of the season, Vanderbilt in the second half had only allowed 3 points total. Just a field goal. And Georgia State has scored 12. 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, especially having it late like this can, you know, maybe help soothe some of the feelings coming out of this game for Georgia State and have a little success at the end.
There's head coach Del McGee talking with offensive coordinator Hugh Jackson.
Del McGee, former Georgia running back coach, known as one of the best recruiters in the land. He's trying to build this roster back.
Now there's Clark Lee and Diego Pavia.
Two captains of the ship right there. What a great moment.
It is a team effort, truly. When you talk to everybody at Vandy, it has taken everybody to turn this thing around. But the two faces of the turnaround are, yeah, those two faces right there, Clark Lee and Diego Pavia.
Well, it is. It is a total team effort, but championship teams need a lightning rod. You got to have that guy that's special and can just will you to victory, and having a head coach like Clark Lee added into the mix makes it even more special.
We were talking yesterday, you're a Notre Dame alum. Clark Lee spent 4 years in South Bend, and I said, if you took away the history, which there's a lot of history at Notre Dame and not much history at Vanderbilt, but just looking forward, can you use the same blueprint, which is we're an elite academic institution and we're going to have an elite football team as well? And he said that when I interviewed for the job, that was the vision. It just was hard for everybody to see. Now we're seeing it in year 5.
It is, and this is coming from a guy who spent 4 years at Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana. I think what Vanderbilt has an edge on in that comparison is their school is in Nashville, happening town with a lot going on.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout as Vandy's dotting the I's on a win. What a moment this is for Whit Muschamp, walk-on quarterback and the son of Will Muschamp, SEC head coach at Florida and South Carolina, currently part of the Georgia defensive coaching staff in Athens. The Dogs are on a bye week, so Rocky, you texted me, You saw Will checking into our hotel yesterday with the dogs on bye, and what a game to go to with your son getting some action.
Worked out there on a bye.
They're letting Witt throw it on.
I double checked that, by the way. When I saw him.
And Vanderbilt and Georgia are not scheduled to play this season. So we don't have a Connor Stallion situation here. Big gain there. That'll go into the stat sheet for Whit Muschamp, picking out Dominic Rizak. Gain of 35.
Yeah, that's going to go down as a 35-yard reception for Whit Muschamp.
That's Lassiter.
Number 41, James L. Lassiter on the carry.
Flag comes out.
Flag on the play.
Holding. Offense. Number 15. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Well, this is what you love when you get third and fourth stringers into the game, which could be their only action of the season, is they don't care that the score is 70-21. No. This is their opportunity. They want to make the most of it.
They put good stuff on tape.
Right back to Lassiter. Came into the night with 2 career carries, both taken to the house. Muschamp keeps it himself. Ball pops out and it's fallen on by a Commodore. Another flag with 30 seconds remaining in this one. A night that'll be defined by Vanderbilt scoring 70 points for the first time since 1918. More than 100 years ago.
During the run, personal foul. Offense, number 51, 15-yard penalty. Second down.
And 8 rushing touchdowns to account for the 70 points.
They scored 70 points. They hardly threw the ball back then, 1918.
That's a good point.
I mean, that's even more impressive.
Well, Clark Lee and this Vanderbilt team has put the college football world on notice through 4 weeks of this season. Vanderbilt is for real. And they left no doubt tonight. A 70-21 drilling of Georgia State. And the Commodores are 4-0 for the first time since 2008. Diego Pavia got the party started. Didn't see much of him in the second half as the Commodores put up 70 and continue this storybook start to the season for Rocky Boiman. I'm Jay Alter saying good night from Nashville.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the Southeastern Conference on ESPN.